Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our very special webinar tonight. My name is Margie Alaprandi, and I am joined this evening by Dr. John Gianonne. I'm very excited for you to hear from him this evening. He's an absolutely brilliant individual, great heart, just really very professional, and extremely caring. It's just a combination that I really love to find in a person. He has been a veterinarian for 39 years. He's owned and operated his own practice in Newport Beach, California. He has been using liquid Biocell Pet for over 3.5 years. And he has more than 500 pets on this product. So it has been life-changing for him. He personally uses the product as well, but for these pets, as an alternative to anti-inflammatory medicines and to avoid steroidal type treatments. So he is phenomenal, and I am excited to introduce our topic tonight as Liquid Biocell Pet, and our expert guest as Dr. John Gianonne. Are you there, Dr. John?
I am. Hello, everybody. Thanks, Margie, for having me on board tonight. I want to introduce the Liquid Biocell Pet to those of you who are new to the to Modere and to the collagen sciences. I want you to learn something from me tonight, as I always want people to walk away from any of my talks with something that they didn't know before that they can apply to their everyday use with the Liquid Biocell. Hi, Marge.
Hi. So why don't you start, if you would, by telling your story a little bit. And I wanted to say at the onset here that this recording is going to be a great tool for you to share with people about the benefits of Biocell Pet coming from an authority, right? Coming from people love to hear from people that are credentialed, and that's what you've got now in your back pocket with this webinar once we've got this thing complete. And so don't feel like you need to personally know and understand every one of these details. Just go ahead and let them have access to this, so that they can experience the information firsthand. So yeah, share your story a little bit if you would, and then jump in and tell us a little bit about Liquid Biocell Pet, and then one by one we'll kind of dive into the specific benefits that pets get from this amazing product.
Sure. Well, I would like to assume that those of you who are listening here know something about the Liquid Biocell itself, whether it's for people or for pets, and why it's so important. For those of you that are new, we have to look at the components of Liquid Biocell, which is the hyaluronic acid, collagen, and chondroitin. And these three active ingredients are so necessary for healthy systems in the body. We learned, I first came across this product about 3.5 years ago, and I was very open to what it can do. I actually saw the results in a pet who just was immobile, just couldn't walk prior to using the product, and then it did really well and running around in circles around other pets. And I said, well, I got to look into this product. So it was introduced to me that way. And so I said, I'm going to give this a try in my practice. And that was 3.5 years ago, and I haven't turned back since. Well, I didn't know much about how the HA really worked, or the collagen. I knew of it physiologically, but it was the results that really made a difference. The results that I saw in that pet, and then what's going on in my practice. So I started off by just buying a dozen of the Liquid Biocell Pet, and put it on the shelf, and it became something that I wasn't prescribing, I was just using. And as as time went on, I thought, my goodness, this really, really has a purpose in everyday veterinary practice. And even if you're not a vet, it works as an amazing nutritional supplement for just your everyday pets that you have at home. So we have to understand that that the liquid Biocell it's not a drug. You don't need a veterinarian to tell you that you need to use it for certain things. It's a nutritional supplement, and as such, you're able to use it at will and buy it over the counter through either, if your veterinarian's carrying it, or right directly from the company itself. The product that we use is, as you can see in the slide, it's a small bottle. It's 120 mLs, and it's a vegetable flavored beef, or beef flavored vegetable source. So it's not really containing any beef. I know that we have found by testing animals that they have some allergies to beef and animal products. Well, this does not have any component of that because it's vegetable flavored. So it's very safe. People commonly ask me, like, what age can I start? Can I start to use this product? And, I'll tell them 6 months to 9 months of age would be a good time to start. And so, well, why is that? And the reason is that I firmly believe now that as time progresses, as the pet ages, the concentration of HA and collagen in the body goes down. We just really don't make enough of it. The pets don't make enough of it. So as they age, it starts to go down to a certain level where they really need it. Well, systemically, then where is it really working? So understand that the HA, hyaluronic acid, is found. It's found in your joints, in your joint space. And Margie, this space is the bursa, is the pocket of fluid that keeps bone from rubbing against other bone, and that's called the bursa. So the fluid is the joint fluid called synovial fluid. In that is the HA. That acts like a cushion. So if bone doesn't rub against bone, you're not going to have any bone discomfort. It's when, as we age, that starts to deplete. Those two bones start coming together because that balloon effect is not there anymore. That cushion starts to get depleted, and so pet becomes uncomfortable. So we
and because
that.
Sorry, just to interject very quickly, because
Please. Yeah.
dogs age, right? Dogs and cats, animals age more quickly, right? We look at things in dog years, kind of jokingly sometimes, but the earlier we can introduce it, number one, it acts preventatively for a number of things, and we'll deep dive into some of those here in a minute. But but particularly the joints, maybe just a little, like hyaluronic acid. It is in that bursa, as you're saying, that keeps the cushion, the lubricity to some degree, along with the type 2 collagen and the chondroitin.
It maintains the lubrication. Yes, it maintains lubrication between the joints. So important. Yeah. And then and I'll get into like the preventative part. That's where I was headed. The collagen. Collagen is all in your connective tissue. What is connective tissue? Connective tissue are your tendons, your ligaments, your skin, anything pertaining to the joints and its structure. Collagen has to stay hydrated. Well, hyaluronic acid loves water. It holds a lot of water. So when you put those two together, you can keep your tendons and ligaments hydrated with elasticity. When they're called to stretch or to undergo exercise or something that puts stress on it, you want to be able to have tendons and ligaments that will will stretch and then come back to normal positioning again instead of rupturing or tearing, which is such a common injury in our pets. You know, we play really hard with them all the time, throwing a ball and frisbees and swimming and doing all sorts of things around the dining room table. You know, they injure themselves really, really quickly. So as a preventative, if we can keep the levels up, maintaining a higher level of HA and collagen and chondroitin in the body and in the joints and in the tendons and ligaments, we're going to probably prevent injury, or at least that would be a lesser injury because we have those components on board. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. And you know, I think it bears to mention that hyaluronic acid, as critical, particularly for animals, as it is for their little joints, it's in every cell of the body.
Exactly.
And Biocell, by clinical trial, is proven to, and hyaluronic acid, the value of it, if that sounds like just a great big word that you don't understand, hyaluronic acid, the value of it is that it holds about 1,000 times its weight in moisture water. So it's very hydrating and plumping, and we have an abundance of it when we're babies, and little puppies and kitties have an abundance of it. Like humans, it starts to fade, and Biocell Pet will help increase that. In the human studies, Biocell, the people product, is proven to increase hyaluronic acid 6,000% in 28 days. You can imagine the benefit this would have for our little furry friends to have that kind of increase, right?
Perfectly said, Margie. You know, I have clients who come in with their pets, and they don't have to have a problem to get started on this formula because, frankly speaking, it's just not available in this form, in a liquid form, and it is so easily digested in the oral cavity, and that's what made it a patented formula for us. As in people and in animals, the
bioavailable.
It's bioavailable, and that's great. I mean, you don't have to tell your dog, okay, don't swallow. You know, you need to slur it around a little bit. You know, it's not that oral specific, but it does get into their system. And with you know, having so many pets take this product from my office, and I see the results. You know, I stand out like a hero. And
exactly.
It's a great reward to me to know that something that is a nutritional supplement that doesn't have the side effects of the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories is so helpful. I'm not injuring their liver or kidney. It doesn't require blood tests to continue to have a chronic maintenance protocol. And that's
exactly.
rewarding.
It's the benefit. Go ahead. Sorry. I get so excited.
Yeah. I know you're so excited, Margie. It's okay. I hope everybody else is, but I can't hear them. So the client, my clients are so happy with this because, you know, most of the pets that are injured or have joint issues and not necessarily skin issues so much, but they're elderly, they're old now, or they're getting old, and we know the first organs to go downhill are the kidney and liver. So why make an animal walk better if you're ruining their liver and kidney? That's not good. You need those body functions. So here's a product that came out 5 years ago that I started using 3.5 years ago, and I've sold hundreds and hundreds and over 1,000 bottles of this retail. I mean, like from my office. I'm not even talking about people who who are using it themselves and have ordered it. So it's a fantastic product, and it's worth every dime that you put into it. There are so many pets out there, and some with 2 and 3 in a household, and people spend close to $6 billion on supplements, for their pet, and a lot of it just kind of goes in the mouth and comes out the
Exactly.
other end and not getting digested. They're kind of wasted. But since I see the results, I am so pro liquid Biocell Pet. I get excited too about it.
I'm excited. I think let's mention that because these compounds of collagen, hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate, because they are naturally occurring in human bodies and animal bodies, and then to be able to find that exact replica of our own connective tissue that attests or that makes the bioavailability possible, it's that the body can take it up and utilize it, and there's no possibility of toxicity because, bring it on, right? More hyaluronic acid, more chondroitin sulfate, more.
Right. You're not going to overdo it.
Exactly.
The dosages are written right on the bottle, and so I think we should kind of look at that, because I do get questions. How much?
Yeah. Okay. We'll get there in just 1 minute. I want to just I just want to drill down on something you mentioned about how this supports the kidney and the liver. Is that through in our pets, the kidneys and the liver? Is that through the connective tissue and supporting them and strengthening them, or?
No, actually, what I said, it's the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories that are deleterious effect to the kidney and liver. So, but understand that HA is found throughout the body, and so you are supporting anything that might have a smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, striated muscle. They're all 3 different types of muscles. And if you think about smooth muscle, you've got to think about bladder. So it helps in bladder dysfunctions, if I may, without naming any kind of disease entity.
Yes.
The HA is found in your eye. The eye has 2 chambers. There's one in the front, which is in front of your lens, and there's one behind the lens, all contained in the globe. HA was discovered in abundance in the back of the eye, in that rear chamber, the posterior chamber. And this allows for good, healthy retina. The back of the eye is where your screen is. The retina is an important part of your eye. And sometimes, I know in people, they get these filaments that break off, and they see these, I forget what the particles, that look like floaters,
Yes.
in the eye. Well, we've heard from people that, gosh, they don't have that anymore. Well, I can't tell you if a dog does or not, but that it's with our bodies are so similarly related that these pets have to be benefiting also with their in their eyes and not only their joints and tendons and ligaments, but it also goes down to even their skin. I mean, one of the first things, and I shared this in my last webinar, I said that one of the first things that we see, if I'm giving this out to a patient that has joint problems, that in 30 days, the clients are back saying, oh my God, the skin, the coat has improved dramatically. It's soft, it's shiny, it's not shedding as much. And that's because the skin is just dying to get some collagen in its layers, and the collagen is what's hydrating the skin and making the keratin work in the skin. And I see it, and they tell me that my dog isn't shedding as much, and the coat is lustrous, and there's no smell anymore. This is great. And then and he's walking better. Look at this, and it's exciting. And so I said, yep, this is probably a product you've never heard of, or the ingredients. You've never used it before. I'm glad that you trust me, and that's where I'm at, is that my clients, patients have trust in me, so they're willing to give it a try, as opposed
What's
so awesome, going down an aisle. What's that?
Yeah. Picking something off a shelf that has questionable ingredients, that who knows what the long-term side effects of those are. And the thing about our sweet furry friends is that you don't get a placebo with them, right? Like if they're having mobility issues, or skin and coat issues,
Right.
you know, they're not looking at it and going, oh, I think it's better, right? That you can see it's better, or they stand up and walk when they couldn't before. So it's very dramatic.
Exactly.
Very,
Yeah.
very dramatic. I want you to mention, if you would, and then we'll pop over to the usage of this product and kind of keep things moving along. But I want you to mention, I remember you saying what an issue it is for particularly little dogs and cats losing their teeth, and then they can't eat,
Mm.
and then that's curtains, really. And what does liquid biocell do to support the gums, ultimately supporting the teeth?
So again, it goes down to collagen. The I had mentioned just a little while ago that collagen supports tendons and ligaments. Well, we don't have tendons in our mouth, but we do have ligaments. That ligament is the periodontal ligament. That holds the tooth in its place. It holds the tooth in the root. It makes the connection with the periosteal bone, and this ligament has to be healthy. It's when it becomes unhealthy or damaged that we start to see mobility in the teeth. So the teeth start to loosen up and the gum starts to recede. When that happens, you have dental disease. We know that dental disease leads to many cardiac diseases as well. Besides the loss of teeth and bad breath and being uncomfortable, the liquid Biocell Pet is giving the proper nutritional supplements to the gums. So imagine these little dogs, and people who have little dogs know that they go in for the dentals and they wind up getting many teeth extracted. It's all because of it's bad hygiene, but it's also because we're not supplementing that particular system properly. And pets chew. They want to chew on bones and rawhides and things that, you know, ultimately could harm them if they have a weak substrate in their mouth, and they'll lose their teeth. So that's a very important finding of HA and collagen, how it works for oral health. So important.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's a really important point. So we now are on that slide for dosage and administration.
Okay.
How do you
So let me
know how much you're getting in that little bottle and so forth? How do you instruct people to use that with a dropper, and do you put it in food? Do you put it in their mouth? How do you get it down? And how do you make sure they're getting their benefit?
So we know it's beef flavored, vegetable beef flavored, so it's very tasty. Pets will agree to come to the dropper itself, and you can gently squeeze out the amount of the pet blend as a daily dose. It's once a day. Each dropper is 2 mLs. The dosages are clearly written on the bottle, but I'll be happy to tell you. So right now, if you have a small dog who's under 24 pounds, which is the majority of dogs, at least in my neighborhood over here, that's 2 mLs a day. It's the same dose for a cat as well, 2 mLs a day. The bottle contains 120 mLs. You'll have 60 days of serving. That's one bottle, $50 bottle that'll last 2 months. So that's very cost effective. As you get up into the bigger dog, and we'll skip down to the 50 to 100 pound range, which is your say your German Shepherd, your Labrador Retriever, Golden Retriever. Those dogs will need 6 mLs a day. So one bottle will last 20 days. That's what it means by servings per container. So for those of you that are introducing this to the owners that have the larger dog, they need to go on a double bottle, 2 bottles every month. It should be smart shipped to their home, 2 bottles every month for the larger dog. And the reason why I say that is because people say, let me try a bottle, and they have a large dog. In 20 days, less than 3 weeks, they're finished with the 1 bottle. They don't go back on and say, I didn't reorder because, I really didn't see much of a difference. Well, the studies show you're going to need 60 to 90 days to have any kind of difference. So if you're successful in having them buy 3 bottles all at once for $140, that's great. But generally, it's 2 bottles every month. and let them stay on that, and you'll see that they will have the results, and they'll come back for more. The population out there is amazing of pets. The market is wide open because this product is not found in many veterinary offices. You can't go into a magazine and order it from the back classified. There just isn't there. It's a product that we uniquely have, and we're so blessed to have the Collagen Science Department put this together for us. If you're not using it on your own pets, then you
need to get that going.
You need to get it going. So I don't know how to stress that, but
this is a $6 billion industry. People spending money, and I've noticed through the years that people will spend money for their children and pets that they wouldn't even spend on themselves, because
that's so true.
It's just they want to take good care of them, and so this is just a giant market, and finding veterinarians who align with, also like yourself, who you're so smart and you have such a tender heart. It's just like you're the perfect one. So
it's hard to align veterinarians, even for me to find veterinarians to kind of get on board with this. It's been difficult for me. So those of you out there who want to know what to say to a veterinarian, I don't know what to tell you. It's difficult.
People, right? Yeah.
I see the results, but and that's what kind of makes it happen. I'll let you know too that the liquid Biocell Equine, this product is available for horses as well. It's rosemary flavored, which horses love, and it's a liquid formula. So you can take a horse that's 1,000 pounds and give it 30 cc's, 30 mLs of product, so that the bottle will last you one month. 5 cc's equals 1 teaspoon, so you're giving six teaspoons of a liquid that can perhaps offset you from having to give injections to your horse to have the same effect. And we know that the collagen and hyaluronic acid in the equine blend helps with their skin and their joints. Gosh, we know that they have such terrible joint issues because they're so traumatic on their feet out on the field,
Yes.
On the track.
Did you want to mention also about the NSF approval?
Yeah, so for those of us who might have a horse that is competitive and out in the field that gets drug tested for supplements, this product is NSF approved, which means that it is not listed in the can't do supplements. So that's the easy way to put it. So it is an acceptable formula because it's a natural formula. You're not enhancing anything. These are not enhanced drugs. So urine test, blood test, it's fine. They would not test positive and be restricted from performing.
Fantastic.
Really important.
Okay,
that's really great.
This is the part that I've been really looking forward to, because I had the privilege of hearing you share this story about a beautiful dog named Lily and the level of emotion that you felt as you told this story was super touching, and so I wanted to capture it here in this webinar to share it with everybody. So could you tell us about Lily and what condition Lily was in when she came?
Absolutely. So, gosh, I'm partial to German Shepherds. I hate to say that nationally, but I've raised 9 German Shepherds, and they commonly can get some dermatological conditions or skin conditions. Well, this one dog, Lily, a year and a half, had developed this skin disorder that what was happening was that Lily's body no longer recognized its own skin, and it was kind of like a flesh-eating disorder. And not only was the hair coming out, but the hair plus the skin and the dermis you can just literally pull off patches on her, and you could see her underlying tissue was getting infected, and she became so horrible looking and painful. She was uncomfortable. Well, she obviously had to go to the specialists, you know, the gurus of dermatology, and she was tested for many disorders relating to skin, including immune disorders, and biopsies were taken. She subsequently went on some immunotherapy drugs, high levels of antibiotics, and steroids, and she just wasn't getting better. She would just get mildly better and then not. Her skin was smelling, and she had open wounds and sores, and this went on for about a year and a half. And because she was on steroids, she started developing gastric ulcers and perforations in the stomach and bloody stool, and they were ready to put her to sleep. Well, the owners came to me and said, Dr. G, we know you love German Shepherds. This is our Lily. You love Lily. Can you help us? I said, guys, you've been to the best of the best here, and I don't know what to do for you. I don't want to repeat anything. She looks awful. I know that she's off of antibiotics right now because she's being killed by her own protocols here that she was put on. I said, look, I just learned about this product. And I reached over in the back and I pulled up a bottle of liquid Biocell. I said, I've only used this in a few patients, but what's in here is something that you have never either heard of or you've never even introduced it to her. And I want to try her on liquid Biocell Pet because it has HA and collagen. And gosh, we know at this point her body is just beckoning to have some of this in her system. So that's as best as I can do for you. This is a new thing. I want you to give her 6 mLs every day. Do you know, Margie, in a month's time, her skin started to regrow. It started closing in. Those open sores were gone. She was starting to be happy and feeling better, and she could lay down without having to continually transfer her weight from side to side because she didn't know where to lay that would make her comfortable. And so the 1 month went by, 2 months went by, and she was getting progressively better. It has been now a few years. I've taken progressive pictures of her, and just last month she came in.
Lily. I just brought her up. Look at that beautiful animal.
So beautiful. And I get emotional talking about it. So when she comes into my office, she just literally comes into my office, my desk, and sits down next to me and says, thank you. Wow, I get emotional talking about it.
I do too. You've got me over here tearing up.
It's a miracle. It was really a miracle. So if I can help pets, that's my goal. So liquid Biocell, guys, it does more things than you can imagine. Besides making a family and kids happy that they have their dog back, that's big.
It's really big. Thank you so much. Now I can rest my case that you are brilliant and heart forward. Now everyone knows. I was so touched by this story, and since you shared it,
thank you.
I couldn't wait to capture it so that people can share that beautiful Lily. Oh, she's
all right.
Beautiful.
You took my breath away here. I'm out here in public space. It's okay, guys. I'm good.
Dr. Gianonne, thank you so much for being with us.
All right, Mark.
We appreciate you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Thank you for the time, Mark.